What is up? What is up? We're gonna get it in. It's 8:59 right now. And at 9 o'clock, in about 1 minute's time, we're gonna talk about the important but not urgent things that greatly impact how well you sell you and your services. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Set my clock. Now, each Monday night, I come here. It's now 9 o'clock. Great. Each Monday night, I come here and I offer something that I believe will be immediately actionable. Something that's going to help us entrepreneurs or you as an entrepreneur to sell yourself and your services better than you ever have before so that you can earn more money than ever before. That's what I do. That's what I'm about. My name is Brian McNeill, for those of you guys who don't know me. And you're going to find that this 30 minutes is going to go really, really fast, but we're going to get it in anyway. All right. So it's 9 o'clock. We're going to go from 9 until 9:30, and I'm going to share with you something that's going to help you to sell better. I've been helping people to sell better for about 27 years now. And I've helped thousands of people all across the country, actually internationally as well as nationally. I've written 4 fantastic books on how to sell. And tonight, I'm doing this tonight. I'm giving this complimentary sales training tonight because I believe it's my mission in life to help men and women, help entrepreneurs and salespeople to sell better than they ever have before so they can earn more money than ever before. So tonight's title is things that are important but not urgent, that greatly impact how well you sell you and your services. You know, this is a concept I learned maybe 20 years ago from a fantastic book, which is probably an essential read for all entrepreneurs. The book was called, or all adults really, the book was called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, written by Stephen Covey. Now, one of the things he talks about early in the book is your quadrants of time. And he breaks down how you use your time into 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants. How you doing, Miss Vivian? Quadrant number 1, things that are important to do and they're urgent. Things that are important to do and they're urgent. Like if there's a fire, it's important that you put the fire out and you got to put it out right now. If it's some things that have to be done in a timely manner, they're important and they're urgent. If they don't get it done by this time, the deadline is gone. We do some of our time on things that are important but not urgent. That's quadrant 1. Quadrant number 2 are things that are important to do but not necessarily urgent to do. Like exercising. It's important to exercise, but no one tells you you have to exercise right now. Okay, it's important to do, but it's not urgent to do. Things like following up with your clients. That's important to do, but it's not urgent. You don't have to do it at a certain time. That's quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 in the uses of our time are things that are not really important, but they're urgent. Like your show is coming on right now. Sometimes a ringing phone, sometimes meetings, they're urgent because they're taking place right now. But a lot of those things that are not important but urgent, and we spend a lot of our time there. And then quadrant 4 are things that are not important and not urgent. A lot of our television watching is not important to do and it's not really urgent to do. You know, sometimes we got to spend some time doing all of these things, but to the direct degree, quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, how much of your time can you spend above the line there? And really where your gold is in quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 is where the winners live. As much of your time as you can spend doing things that are important to do, but not urgent. Now, as a sales coach, I'm going to focus my talks tonight about things that impact your ability to sell yourself and your services. That's what I focus on, helping people to sell themselves and their services. We're going to talk about things that are important to do, but not urgent. Now, first, let's talk about work, your work. As an entrepreneur, as someone that has a service to provide, what is your work? What is work for you? Now, I break it down. Real work into 6 categories. Prospecting, when you're actually actively seeking out someone to offer your services to, actively seeking out an organization or potential client to offer your services to. All those activities of identifying who and actually reaching out to them with a phone call or a message or a letter or something actively prospecting. And we talk about all the different areas of prospecting, but prospecting time, the amount of time you spend in prospecting actually counts as real work. Presenting, prospecting and presenting, where you actually have a chance to talk to someone and you tell them what you do or you showcase what you have in such a way where they can understand the benefits of what you have. That's presenting. I'm talking about your real work right now. For example, if I wanted to move that wall over there, okay, my objective was to move that wall. And I started to push against that wall. And even if I bared down into it and I pushed hard as I could, if that wall doesn't move at all, no work was done. Even if you got tired, no work was done. I'm talking about real work now. And I break it down into 6 categories. Prospecting, presenting, closing. That's when you're actively asking for money in exchange for your services. The time that you spend actually asking for money in exchange for your services. You're exchanging your big pile of benefits for their little pile of money. That part about closing, which will include overcoming objections, setting your rates, presenting your rates, all that kind of stuff. That's actively closing. Prospecting, presenting, closing, following up for the people who didn't say yes right then. And even for the people who did, you still need to follow up. You heard it said before 100 times. Those of you who are actively seeking how to do what you do better, but the fortune is in the, you could probably finish it for me, the fortune is in the follow-up. There's a stat that I learned many years ago saying that the average sale in the United States happens after the 5th attempt. The average sale happens after the 5th attempt. You know, so, but most entrepreneurs never really ask for business at all. All they do is they just tell what they do, or they market what they do. They market it real, real well. Social media marketing, however you market it. Most entrepreneurs just market to death, and they hope. They market, and they hope that someone will see their marketing, understand how their marketing will benefit them, and then the client reaches out to you and say, hey, look, I saw what you do. I want to use your stuff. Can I hire you, or can I buy what you have? That's marketing and hoping. That's not actually asking for business, okay? Most entrepreneurs never ask for business. Average entrepreneurs that do have some sales training will ask for business, but they'll only ask once or twice and then never again. Only the champions will follow up effectively with clients and give them a chance to say yes or no the requisite amount of times. The 3rd time, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time. And one of my favorite quotes is, until they buy or die. We're going to follow up until. That's my mode. But only champions do that. And there's a systematic way that I teach on how to follow up continuously with people. You know, prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying. None of you guys have been on this earth long enough to know everything it is about what you do. You must keep yourself in a constantly studying mode, actively seeking out new information about what you do. Reading YouTube videos, articles, talking to other people who are doing what you do very well, talking to your coaches, your mentors. You must spend some time actively studying your craft. You want to keep yourself green and growing instead of ripe and rotting. By the way, I appreciate the likes there. If you hear anything tonight that you find valuable, click on the like, click on the love, click on anything like that, because what it does is it helps me to populate through Facebook, and I appreciate the help. Thanks a lot. If you feel like there's someone that you needs to hear this, feel free to share this information. Sharing. All right, prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying. I am of the opinion that you should be studying your craft for at least 30 minutes to an hour on each day that you work. when I was in my 20s and I knew I wanted to be great at selling. I read that in a book somewhere that says you should be studying your craft at least 30 minutes to an hour. And I knew I didn't know how to sell well, so I was willing to do whatever they said. So what I did was I would get up early and I would read for 30 minutes to an hour about how to sell. And because I was a sales manager, and we had a meeting at 9 a.m., so whatever I studied that morning, I went into the office and I taught it to my guys. So that kept me studying and it kept me teaching. By the way, another habit of highly effective people is highly effective people teach what they learned right away. Highly effective people teach what they learn within about a day or two. They teach what they learn right away. So when you learn something, one of the best things you can do when you learn something new that will be helpful is to teach what you learned to someone else, because that gives you a chance to reinforce what you've learned. Not only do you have to learn it for yourself, but you have to learn it well enough to tell it to someone else. Prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying, and delivering. Actually delivering what you sold. Delivering what you sold. If you sold coaching programs or a speech or a talk or massage therapy or lawn care, that is delivering what you sold. So outside of those 6 things, prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying, and delivering, everything else is not work in your business. Everything else we're doing is not officially work. What they're doing is, everything else you're doing is, even though if it's not one of these 6 areas, I'm of the opinion that what you're doing is you're preparing to go to work. You're preparing to do one of the 6 things I laid out to you. Prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying, or delivering. Everything else. Creating great ads is preparing you to go to work. Marketing efforts are preparing you to go to work. Making posts, those are preparing you to go to work. You do have to do the preparing, yes, but that does not count as work. About 25 years ago, a study was done about how much time the average salesperson in America actually spends working. About 25 years ago, the average salesperson in America actually spent about an hour and a half a day working. 1.5 hours a day, 90 minutes a day, actually working. They might work 10, 12, 14 hours a day. They might be engaged in what they believe is work. But most of their time is spent in meetings, in traveling, in talking, in thinking. All those activities are preparing, but actual real work about an hour and a half a day. 10 years ago, the same study was done. It was still the same, about an hour and a half a day. Today, it's still the same. The average entrepreneur spends about an hour and a half a day engaged in activities of prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying, or delivering. My challenge is to you tonight, the first challenge. By the way, everyone who stays around to the end of this broadcast is going to get a free gift. I'm going to give you something if you're still here at 9:28. 9:28 is when I'm going to give the free gift. If you're still here, I'm going to give it to you. It's already 9. Oh my gosh, it's 9:13. I haven't covered. Half my time is gone, and I have a lot more stuff I want to cover. Again, I am doing this because I believe it's my mission. When you have a gift, skill, or a talent, you're supposed to use your gift, skill, or talent to give God glory. And I think He has uniquely qualified me to teach you how to sell what you do better. And that's what I'm doing. An interesting question was asked to me of one of my coaches. He said to me, Brian, do you believe that people that show up to your free training on Monday nights, do you believe that they believe that they could just cobble together the free training and get all they need? It was an interesting question. And I said, no, that's not enough. What I do for free, it helps, yes, but the free stuff is not enough. It's just enough to get you going, but it's not in depth enough. So that's what I said to him. He said, but do you believe that they think they can? If that's the case, if you're one of these people who think all you need is the free stuff that you can get, I'm here to tell you, at some point, you're going to have to invest in yourself. The laws of nature won't let you win unless you invest something in yourself. Benjamin Franklin said it 100 years ago, if you empty the pennies of your purse into your mind, you fill that purse with gold. That means you put some money into your education so you can make more money yourself. Amen. So, my first challenge to you is, can you spend 3 hours a day, just 3 hours a day, actively prospecting or presenting or closing or following up or studying or delivering. One of the cool things about studying your craft for 30 minutes to an hour a day is it bolsters your confidence, and very often it spurs you to take on a new activity. It spurs you to try something else. So that's why I think studying is so important. The carrots, I'm giving a free gift tonight at 9:28. I will invite you guys to join my Selling Your Services Academy, and I will even also offer you guys a chance to have a one-on-one consultation with me. And I do that through my Calendly link. That's calendly.com/BK McNeill. Calendly.com/BK McNeill. If someone is willing to put that in the chat there for me, I would really appreciate it. Let's keep going. Time. Can you spend 3 hours a day actively working? You can't do it without a plan. You can't do it without a system. You must spend some time. So let's go back and delving into quadrant 2 activities. Things that are important to do, but not urgent. Think about how you spend your workday right now. Your workday. By the way, I do encourage you entrepreneurs to put yourself on a 5-day work week. I encourage you to put yourself on a 5-day work week. Entrepreneurs, when you don't put yourself on a schedule, what happens is you find yourself doing a little bit every day of the week, and a lot of times that is not as effective. But if you put yourself on a 5-day work week, you know Monday's a work day for you. Tuesday's a real work day. And your goal is to spend at least 3 hours a day doing activities that actually brings in money. Actual, real, tangible work. Let's break them down a little bit more. We're at 9:16. We're doing good. All right. So, prospecting. What is prospecting? Well, what prospecting really is putting yourself in the way where business can happen. Put yourself in the way where you can actually sell. For example, I see a friend of mine, Audretta, is on here. And when it comes to health and wellness, she's like a resource. She's written a great book called The Leaky Gut Syndrome, I think is what it's called. But she helps people to lose weight permanently. Not just get on that yo-yo thing here where you lose weight, then gain it, and lose weight, then gain it. She helps educate people, and now her training has shifted into putting a lot more time in her training into helping her clients with their mindset about their weight. Okay, and the older I get, I mentioned this last week, the older I get, the more and more I am convinced our mindsets are more important than I ever thought it before. Mindset, I define mindset as the way we think about things, the way we think about it, the way we think about how successful we can be, the way we think about how good of a cook we are, the way we think about how good of a driver we are, the way we think about how good of a lover we are. We have a certain mindset into each of those things. And our job is to ratchet up our mindsets about each of the critical areas of our lives and each of the critical areas of our business. All right. In fact, I'm going to replay this one. Teach what you learn right away. Thank you, my sister, Dr. Deborah. I'll never leave. Okay, no, not enough. Dangle the Carrot. This is worth rewatching. Amen. I am going really fast. People have told me in comments after my Monday night sales training, they have told me a couple of times or a few times that I'm talking a bit fast and I'm putting too much stuff in it. And if I put a little bit less content in it and spend more time talking about that content, it might be more effective. I don't know. But what happens is I write out what I want to cover, and then I get excited, and then I just keep on pouring. Sarah has tricked me into talking about more stuff than I want to. Prospecting. Looking for. Now, here's the thing about prospecting. The most profitable use of your time, the single most profitable use of your time is prospecting, looking for clients. Yes, Sarah, you sold me. If you don't have enough clients right now, most of your time should be spent actively looking for clients. Actively looking for clients. And let me say this here, this is in my notes to cover, looking for clients simply. Simply. When I say simply, that means all these social media things that you're on, all the marketing that you do, can you simply say to the world what you do in a simple way where they understand it? If you just tell your Facebook page what you do, that's better than not telling your Facebook page what you do. Simply telling what you do and the benefit of what you do regularly until your marketplace understands in a simple way, not complex and not cute and not funky. Simply understand what you do, conveying what you do. Can you convey what you actually do in a simple way? And I want you to put some thought to that. You guys are right. This is worth rewatching. You are really pouring into us, Brian. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Vivian Reed says, thank you, Sarah. Prospecting. If you don't have enough clients, I am going to commission you to spend most of your day. Can you spend an hour a day prospecting? Can you spend 2 hours a day prospecting? Actively looking for the work. Actively looking for people that can do what you do, that you can serve with what you're doing. Prospecting. Study how to prospect. Holla at your boy. Okay? I know who I want to coach. I know who I want to help. I like helping people that sell intangible services. Think not products as much. I know a lot of people have products. I even have some too. But my expertise is intangible products, coaching, consulting, financial services, real estate, things that they look at as a service to the world. The reason why is because I have learned and I am an expert in teaching people how to sell what they do through a story. How to sell through a story, because I really believe that your money is in your story. Yes, yes, yes. Your money is in your story. You must sell you first. Tell your story, because why would I buy into Dr. Deborah Dunstan? I need to understand who she is before I could really buy from her. I need to buy, because people don't want to buy from an organization. They want to buy from an actual person. They want to hire an actual person. Sell yourself through your story. I gave a group presentation a couple of nights ago with a bunch of businessmen. It was mostly men in the room. And I was telling these guys, they was asking, how do you eliminate competition, or how do you compete in the marketplace? I told them, and I'm going to tell you right now, the way you don't worry about competition, the way you beat competition is to sell yourself. So if I want to buy Sarah Munger, for example, I can only get Sarah Munger from Sarah Munger. If I want to buy her, there's the only one place I can get it. Now, she sells travel. It's what she does. She helps people to enjoy more of their life by experiencing more of our planet. That's what she does, okay? But if I buy into her effectiveness in helping me to experience more of my planet, I have to get it from her. There are a lot of people that do travel, but there's only one of her. So if she sells herself and people want to buy into her, they can only get her from her. And I'm saying that to you too. Sell yourself first. Selling you is an important thing. How do you sell yourself? Why would anybody buy what you have? Why would anybody work with you? Number one reason why they work with you is, and this is not going to sound great, but you have to earn the right to sell. And how do you earn the right to sell? Is by being the right kind of person that deserves to sell. That means integrity matters. That means not offering anything that you don't personally believe in. That means actually loving what you do. If you don't love what you do, if you don't really believe what you offer is going to be effective, your integrity is challenged, your integrity is at stake, and you're not the person that deserves it. You only deserve the money when you have earned the money. Presented, follow up, delivered in such a way that you earn the money. All right, it's 9:23 already. Oh my gosh. Okay, prospect, let's go with that. Prospecting. I said before, getting in the way of sales. Do you have a business card? I am of the opinion that you need to become a continuous prospector. A continuous prospector. By that I mean, outside of when you're actively reaching out to someone. I don't want you to go out and prospect. No. But I do believe that you should prospect while you're out. That means when you're in your normal social circles, while you're doing your normal thing, if you don't already have a picture business card, I encourage you to get a picture business card. Okay, a card with your face on it, with a smiling, confidently expectant expression on your face. And if anyone takes money from you, they need to get your card too. That means if you pay a bill or tip your server, anytime you're giving out money, they need to be getting your card as well. When you give out your card, sometimes they'll say nothing. Sometimes they'll say, "What's this about?" If they say, "What's this about?" your job is to keep it light and keep it moving. Just in case you know someone who wants to learn how to sell themselves and their services better than they had before, then they can work with Brother Brian. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do it a little bit early. It's 9:25, and I think I'm going to run out of time. My free gift to you tonight. It shouldn't surprise me, but I have a little bit of surprise into it. I talked to another business expert, and she was telling me, I talked to a couple of them, and she was telling me that her salespeople need help on how to close sales, how to overcome objections. And I'm like, really? They're still struggling how to Yeah, Brian, they don't want to come across as pushy. They don't want to come across as salesy, but they need help with asking for the money and then overcoming the objections. Overcoming objection is a basic skill that you must master to effectively sell yourself, how to overcome objections. So my free gift to you tonight is an ebook that I put together called 5 Steps to Overcoming Any Objection. 5 steps to overcoming any objection. And if you want my free ebook, just put in the comment, 5 steps. 5 steps to overcoming any objection. It teaches the 2 most powerful sales closes that I want you to have in your sales arsenal, and it gives you a systematic way to overcome any objection. My ebook is 5 Steps to Overcoming Any Objection. And if you want it, and I'm giving it to you for free, just put in the comments 5 steps, or reach out to me and say 5 steps. Sarah wants it, and whoever wants the 5 steps ebook is free, and it's not a whole lot of pages. It's right there. Excuse me. Spend more of your time working, more of your time prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, delivering, and studying. That's it. Spend more time doing those things. Sarah says, I know them, but I love to read. And she has demonstrated to me that, yes, she does love to read. Because anything I ask her to read, she does. And I know she does. Who does that? Who is willing to spend 30 minutes to an hour a day studying their craft? Only one kind of person is willing to do that. The person that wants to be a champion. Only champions willing to do that. By the way, in the couple of minutes I have left, you cannot become a rock star in your business by accident. You cannot make $10, $20, $25, $30,000 a month by accident. You can only make that 10, 20, 30 grand a month on purpose, and the purpose has to start with want to, desire to. You have to want to earn that kind of money. In the classic book, Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill, in the first chapter, he's talking about the word desire. Desire is the starting point to all riches, is what it says. Desire. And he spends a whole chapter talking about how important it is that you really want something. You can't just be in business to hope to pay bills. That's not enough. You can't be in business just to make money. We talked about this last Monday night. Making money is not enough of a motivator to get you to do what you do. What do you desire? What is it that you're wanting to get done as a result of you being in business? And I want you to clearly define that. Prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, studying, and delivering. I think I'm going to stop there. I think I'm going to stop there, because if I go into the next thing, spend some more time, yes. Average performers spend an hour and a half a day doing those things. I don't want you to be average. I want you to resolve to figure out a way to spend at least 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day, prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, delivering, and studying. I did mention 2 classic books tonight that I think are essential reads. The first one I mentioned was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's amazing how impactful that book was to me in my life and my wife's life. We reference it all the time because it's just important. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. book was written in 1939, and it's still better than anything written today. Still better. What's that? Done? Is that what she says? I'm going to go watch the Democratic Convention. Michelle Obama is going to be one of the featured speakers tonight. I hope I didn't already miss her. It goes on from 9 till 11 p.m. tonight. So you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you again for joining me for Monday Night Sales Mastery. I'll be back next Monday night giving something that I believe will be immediately actionable. That's my point. When I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk about, what can I talk about on Monday night that they can use right away? And it's my hope and it's my prayer that I gave you something that you could use right away. That's my objective. I thank you guys for showing up here tonight. You honor me with your presence, and I don't take it lightly. Thank you. Have a good night.